People backstage had to rub their eyes to see if they were seeing clearly as Jim Cornette was calmly discussing wrestling matters with Vince Russo backstage. Cornette had vowed, including a long, scene-creating rage at the hotel bar after Bound for Glory, that he could not stand Russo and would not work with him. Since then, he has been convinced by people whom he respects that his anger at Russo is misguided or at least overblown, that he's a good guy, and he should try to make the best of the situation rather than work against it. The one thing that Cornette and Russo have said to have in common is that that can't be said about most others with political power or ambitions in TNA, is that they both want what's best for TNA. They might have totally opposite ideas of what that means, but neither sees the other as scheming for power or being two-faced or backstabbing. And in the current TNA environment, that had made strange bedfellows. A number of people who like both are happy to see Cornette step up and be professional and courteous toward Russo.
I really like the idea as like, the one thing that unifies them is job security.
Yeah.
These guys would like to keep getting paid for their work.
And they would not like to be schemed out by somebody named Jarrett.
Or each other.
They are united against scheming against each other.
Yeah.
Cornette helps produce a lot of the interview segments and attends the production meetings. Dave was told that the production meetings are now more entertaining than most wrestling TV shows. Before the shows, Mike Tenay presents Russo's scripts to everyone involved in production. Dave also noted that Mike Tenay seems to be more involved in creative again at this point as well. Cornette actually sits only a few seats over from Russo, usually with Don West and Tenay in between. The highlights are Cornette openly challenging any segment that he's in on things that don't make sense. Everyone bites their tongue because Russo is described as taking it, but appear to be bottling everything up inside.
You know what the interesting thing about these two is? It's like, if they could work cohesively, they'd probably be a great duo.
They're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, that's what's always been interesting about those two, you know? Is like, that they are both sort of, you know, they are dark reflections of each other, you know?
They are very much the exact same personality type. It's the reason both are fucking still podcast men in 2026.
Ew, who would be that?
I know, who would? But like, they're the same dude. They just liked different wrestling growing up.
Yeah.
And I guess one doesn't like wrestling at all. I guess the other also doesn't like wrestling at all for most of the time.
Yeah, well.
Russo is being told constantly internally the same thing we've been saying, that he's writing far too much for a 1 hour show and they have to edit like crazy to make the show fit. Plus, nobody gets more than a few minutes in the ring. Russo's response has been to continue to do the same thing.
Like, just like slow it down just 10%, man. And like, just, you can fit so much more over the 4 weeks.
These shows are insane. Like, I cannot stress how insane these shows are, how many things happen per show, how many different segments are in the show. Like, the easy way is to just go through the show notes and just count the number of segments in each 1 hour impact, and there's always like 20 to 30 different bullet points.
Well, like, the feeling is like, you watch these shows, like, and we're watching them for the podcast, I was like, I look at my phone for like 2 seconds, I look up and it's like 3 segments. I'm like, what the fuck how has this happened?
Yeah, you just moved on and you're like, fuck, well, I gotta rewind and work out what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, especially finishes and matches, because you'll be like watching a match and like, oh, it's like cruising, it's whatever. You look down, check Twitter or something, then you look back up and you're like, oh, the match has ended and we're already in like an in-ring segment with Sting.
Yeah, you have like the comfort zone of having watched modern wrestling where like opening bell means they're doing some fucking lockup shit.
Yeah, you can like chill for a bit, you know? You can like half pay attention, then when you start feeling things grooving, you're like, okay, let's go.
No, opening bell means the match will be over in 90 seconds.
It's honestly pretty impressive. It's impressive to be able to get that much amount of like stuff locked in.
There is a TV main event this month that is Kurt Angle and Rhino versus AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, in which the actual action they show in the ring is less than 2 minutes.
Wow, what is this, WrestleMania?
Hey, no, it wasn't sponsored by Dude Wipes.
Shout outs, Dude Wipes.
Jeff Jarrett has been talking with Bob Sapp about doing a program with Angle in a so-called shoot fight cage match for the next program after Joe. The original choice was Daniel Puder, but that fell apart after apparently over an embarrassingly low money offer, to which I would say TNA are based, and he's not worth any money above what they offer them. If that's the mentality, how do you expect to get Sapp, who turned down $1 million per year from Vince McMahon and isn't going to come for anywhere less than 10 times what would take to get Puder?
Because he's at least somewhat of a star.
He is a name and he is interesting.
Yeah. I thought not really a name in America.
I feel like maybe it's just because I read wrestling magazines during this period, and every month would have like a Bob Sapp update about whether TNA or WWE wanted him. So in my head, there's like a mythicalness to Bob Sapp actually wrestling in America that never actually happened. So maybe I'm over-indexing that, but I feel like there would be an intrigue to Bob Sapp.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Regarding Kurt Angle versus Bob Sapp as a program, the latest is that TNA has backed off after receiving a legal letter from K1. K1 Sadaharu Tanagawa sent letters to WWE, which is really the final blow that killed the WWE talks, Pride, and every major wrestling and fighting organization, claiming they have Sapp under contract until September and want the promotions to go through them to book him so they can take a cut.
Interesting. Sapp is a really interesting guy.
Yeah, what a weird freak he is, huh?
Yeah. Steroids are awesome.
Is Bob Sapp still alive?
I think so. Let me double check. I would say here. Yeah.
Because I don't think he's old, but to go back to the steroids are awesome part.
He's 52.
Yeah, that feels about right in my head.
Yeah, no, he's alive.